Hello everyone, my name is Rafael and today I will talk about global warming. Global warming warms the air and soils, causing low food production and the melting of the polar ice caps. In addition, leaving many animals homeless and also causing floods around the world. In one hand, greenhouse gases are produced by the concentration of CO2 or nitrogen and other gases around the atmosphere. Those gases prevent the sun's rays from leaving, and on the other hand, global warming can cause disease and shortage for water and other resources. Okay, let's start. First, we are going to continue reading a text that mixes the assertive vocabulary to fully understand global warming. Second, I will show you special words about global warming and you can identify them with colors. Now, finally, we will understand the word with a brief explanation. Greenhouse gases have been increased in the last century by large companies and toxic waste such as CO2. When the sun rays persist on the air, they erode the soils, leaving them dry, causing droughts and food shortages. It is important to minimize garbage and other plastic products. They can reach high levels of contamination and many times the solution can be scarce. Sea level can rise because higher temperatures are affecting the polar caps, causing floods and natural disasters such as hurricanes due to high temperature and strong winds. We are using up most of the non-renewable energy such as fossil fuels, and to obtain more, we often choose to cause environmental damage like fracking. It is necessary to use renewable energy or electric cars with zero emission to reduce CO2 and not rely on products pollutants. We will explain the vocabulary that we found. Increase. When the levels of something increase, like temperature, sea levels, or even a personal money. Example, thief levels are increasing. Minimize. It is the opposite of increasing. It is reducing something until it is very small and it is not noticeable. Example, we must minimize the risk of contamination. Rely on. When we depend on something or someone, sometimes we depend on many resources or people. Example, relying on not renewable energy will lead us to destroy the environment. Use up. It is the consumption of something. We consume electricity and water to live and survive. Example, we are consuming more resources than we have. Dry. It is an adjective and refers to something or a land that doesn't have the presence of water or humidity. Example, the Sahara Desert is very dry. Scarce, used to define shortage of all kinds, consumer products and energy. Example, no renewable fuels are in short supply. Zero emission refers to non-pollution and it is used for transport that don't produce pollutants. Example, electric cars are zero emission. Renewable, it is an adjective for things that are renewed or that are constantly renewed, such as solar or wind energy. Example, we must switch to renewable energy. Greenhouse gases. These are the gases that are produced when the sun's rays remain on the air because the concentration of CO2 don't allow the exit of these rays. The accumulation produces gases that damage the soils and heat the earth. Example, greenhouse gases produce global warming. Drought. It is a season in which there is no presence of water or many animals and plants die. Example, many dry areas in the country are a consequence of major drought. Sea level. When the polar caps melt and fall into the ocean, there is an increase in the oceanic bodies, producing floods and change in the climate. Shortage refers to the absence of something and the little abundance of produce necessary to live. Finally, I will show you the differences between weather versus climate and global warming versus climate change. Weather refers to atmospheric conditions in the short term, including change in temperatures, humidity, precipitation, cloudiness, brightness, wind, and visibility. While the weather is always changing, especially over the short term, climate is the average of weather patterns over the longer period of time and is usually 30 or more years. And on the other hand, global warming versus climate change. Global warming is an increase in the air average surface temperature from humans that produce greenhouse gas emissions. On the other hand, climate change refers to long-term change in the Earth's climate, or a region on Earth, and includes more than just the average surface temperature. For example, variations in the amount of snow, sea levels, and sea ice can all be consequences of climate change.